Hello human race, this is USMC Saxoki, and today we're going to talk about money, saving, spending, and some basic finance advice I live by in list form, of course. These are my 8 opinions about money and personal finances. Now, I say opinions instead of rules or best practices or ways to be a millionaire by 50 because opinions is what they truly are. How I live, what I make, what I spend, my housing situation may be the best way for me, but is probably not the best way for you. I'm a relatively frugal guy. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy life or buy expensive things. I just always make sure I'm going to enjoy the things and experiences I purchase. Final caveat. Many of these you've heard before, and that's because they work. I think you can never get enough personal finance advice, and I would say most people who give said advice probably are relatively wealthy, whatever wealthy means. That's a discussion for another video. Now, moving on. Here are my top 8 opinions about money and personal finances. Opinion number 1. And this one's pretty obvious. Live well below your means and spend well below what you make. In fact, if possible every month, spend half or less of your net monthly income. Now, for ease of this discussion, net income is what goes into your bank pocket or bank account every month. A lot of people discuss gross income, but I think this is worthless, as a lot of your gross income goes to taxes, allotments, insurance, retirement, etc. Net income is what you have to spend or save. So if you make, say, $5,000 a month, your monthly living expenses should be around $2,500 or less. Now, this is on average. Obviously, miscellaneous expenses like a car repair that comes up or buying extra clothes or whatever can cause your spending during a month to go up or down, all right? So that's my first opinion. And it's pretty obvious, live below your means. Opinion number 2, all right, pay off any debt first, and then save, and save some more. There's a difference between saving and investing. We'll get into that later. In my mind, saving is simply the opposite of spending. You make $5,000 a month, save $2,500, and spend $2,500. Where that money you did not spend goes is irrelevant at this point, and we will get into some good places to put that extra money. The main takeaway is that you do not spend your extra money. Save, and save some more. This goes for any large windfall of cash you might receive. Save it. That's my second opinion. All right, so we're living below our means, we're saving money every month, and need to know where to put it, which brings us to opinion number 3. All right, put your savings in places where you can't spend it or will be penalized to spend it. First, I highly recommend credit unions over banks. All right, this is just my opinion. Credit unions have little to no fees to keep your money for you and provide every service you most likely need. I've never understood being charged by someone to use your money. That's what banks do because they are for profit, and I don't get it. Stay away from banks. Again, these are my opinions. Moving forward, at my credit union, my checking and savings account are pretty much interchangeable and offer the same level of liquidity or ease of access to my money. So for me, stashing my savings into my savings account isn't really a savings account in that I can access that money almost instantly. However, a checking or basic saving account is the first place to store that extra dough. You can shop around for higher savings interest rates, but the main thing is you're storing your cash somewhere where we'll earn at least a little bit every month. So once you are comfortable with the amount you see in your savings account, i.e. what some would call an emergency fund or 6 to 12 months worth of living expenses, now it may be time to look for places that have less liquidity but higher interest rates. The higher the interest rate, the more money you'll make, and so on and so on. This is called compounding interest. I personally like CDs or certificates of deposit, that's what CD stands for, because they have basically no risk, guaranteed interest every month, and it's a place to put your money where you'll be penalized if you take it out. If you put your money in a CD, the bank says, hey, we're gonna hold this money for you for a year where you can't access it, but the benefit of that is we're going to pay you a higher interest rate than a savings account. So it's a place to put that extra dough where you can still access it if you need it, but you're not going to be tempted to spend it on, an impulse purchase. So shop around and find out what works for you as far as interest rates. All right, opinion number 4. And this one you've heard a million times and it's pretty boring. Start an IRA with Vanguard and max it out every year. This is the epitome of putting your money where you can't touch it, and what I think starts to get into investing over just saving. To me, investing is putting your money someplace that you will not be able to touch it for a long time, and where your money should start earning you at least 5%. 5% is a good conservative number. Now, in a lot of these personal finance videos, you're gonna hear people talk about 10%, 15%. I'm just gonna be realistic with you. Over the long run, maybe over 30 years, you might see 10% in certain funds, but more likely it's gonna be somewhere from anywhere from 2 to 3% to 8%. That's kind of the winner you're looking at. That's really good. Where was I? Okay, 5%. I recommend a Roth IRA in a low-cost index or retirement date fund. That's what I have. Now, I'm very skeptical about the market and the returns it generates, like I just kind of talked about. This is not a way to get rich. All right, this is just a way to put your money where it can potentially compound into hundreds of thousands to maybe millions of dollars over a long period of time. It's the start of investing, I would say. Now, I won't get into the difference between a Roth and traditional IRA. Just know that when you withdraw money at 59 and a half years old or older from your Roth IRA, nothing is taxed because that money was taxed before it went into the IRA. When you withdraw from a traditional IRA at age 59 and a half or older, that money will be taxed at whatever tax bracket you are in. However, the traditional will lower your tax liability for the tax year you put the money in, so it's really a choice. I like Roth because I like the thought of all that money that grew over the years not being taxed when I'm ready to retire, buy my Tesla Model S in my old age. All right, so at the start of this opinion number 4, I mentioned Vanguard. Why Vanguard? Because their fees are extremely low. Be careful about financial advisors and actively managed funds. More than likely, the fees charged will eat into your earnings. The scary thing is that it's sometimes hard to see where these fees are being taken from. The important thing here is that when you invest $3,000 into an IRA, just an example, $3,000 is what goes into that IRA, and not $2,500 or $2,600 or a lesser value because of the fees that are taken out. Fees are bullshit, and they really piss me off. So just a recommendation, I go with Vanguard. I like Vanguard, I trust them. What I've invested, I haven't noticed any money disappearing. It grows with the market and it'll go down with the market just like any other investment should or will. But their fees are very low. It's a very cheap and efficient way to invest. Oh, and I invest in I think it's the 2050 retirement date fund. We can get into those in another video. All right, moving on. Now that you're saving and investing a little, it's time to discuss purchases and my best practices / opinions on purchasing certain things. Opinion number 5. When buying a car, do not buy new. Just don't. Cars lose their value so quick. Buy used and pay cash. If you must take out a loan, keep the monthly payment below $300. Why $300? It just seems like a fairly reasonable amount that's affordable. I find the sweet spot to buy a car is 3 to 4 years old with under 50,000 miles. You can pick these basically new cars up, they're basically new in my opinion, for half of their original price or less. I bought my 2013 Chevy Volt with the Premier trim in 2016 with about 26,000 miles and I paid $16,000 for it. To me, that's a brand new car that sold new for $40,000 originally. Again, you may be able to afford an $800 a month car payment, but that may be breaking opinion number 1. Which is living below your means. And seriously cutting into let me repeat that. But that may be breaking opinion number 1 and seriously cutting into those sweet, sweet savings. All right. Oh, no matter the car loan amount, pay it off as quickly as possible like any other debt so that you have paid a minimal amount of interest. Opinion number 6, credit cards. All right. Use them, but use them wisely. Only purchase things with credit cards that you can afford otherwise. I use my credit card for just about everything I purchase, but I pay off the balance immediately or once my statement hits at the beginning of the month. I've had my card for 3 years and have paid $0 in interest. The reason I say use a credit card is that it will build your credit and most of them give you, some type of reward. Mine gives me 1.5% cash back on all purchases. So I see that as basically a 1.5% discount on what I'm buying, what I would buy normally. Pretty simple. Now, if you couldn't buy something without a credit card, then don't buy it because you don't have the money for it. Unless I get it, again, emergencies happen, big car repair, then you got your electric bill. Okay, I understand that, but for everyday normal purchases, if you can't afford it, or impulse purchases, don't buy it. And if you suspect that having a credit card or cards is causing you to spend more subconsciously, perhaps just get rid of them. Too easy. Opinion number 7. Always be looking for ways to save money, or phrased another way, spend less on everyday items and bills. The little things do add up. For example, my wife and I do not generate very much trash. Most of the stuff we throw away is recyclable, and we've been paying for weekly trash and recycle pickup. The problem is, it would take us well over a month to fill up our trash can that they provided. And we can take the recycle to the county recycle center free of charge whenever we like, and pay $1.50 for every 30 gallon trash bag we fill up. We'll save about $6 a week and eliminate one more bill to pay. I'm all about eliminating bills. Now, that's obviously not a lot, but those little savings do add up. Another obvious example, and one you've heard countless times, is bring your coffee from home and pack your own lunch every day. Maybe go out once a week, at the maximum. Get coffee from Starbucks or wherever once a week at the maximum. I would say a lot of us out there make a pot of coffee, get a mug, fill it up, take it to work. And if you drink more than that, have a coffee pot at work. Pretty simple. But spending $5 a day, you spend $5 a day to go out to lunch or coffee, that's $1,825 a year. That's a lot of money. Another easy way to cut your money, or another easy way to save your money, is cut your own hair. I trim my wife's hair when she wants me to, and I shave my head every week since I'm in the military. Haircuts are about $12 give or take, and shaving my head has saved me over $1,500 in nearly 3 years. Alright, wrapping things up. Opinion number 8. So I'm going to wrap things up with the simplest and smartest thing you can do with your money and personal finances. That is, pay constant attention, no pun intended, get it? Pay. Constant attention to your finances. What I mean is, know what you make, know what is getting deducted from your pay and why, know how much should be deposited into your account every pay period, and make sure that that is the amount that's actually deposited, and check up on suspicious or weird withdrawals you can't quite place or remember. I've counseled a few people on money, and when I tell them to look at their bank statements and deductions on their leave and earning statements, I'm amazed how often they find things that they didn't even know they were paying for. Once you know exactly what should be coming in and what should be going out, it's easier to spot weird stuff or payments you could or should stop. Know your money, simple as that. Okay, thanks for watching, listening, and subscribing if you've done so. In my next video, I'm going to discuss why my 2013 Chevy Volt is better than a Tesla Model 3. Okay, so check out Learning Bear Podcast for classes on cool and most excellent environmental material. Link in the description below. And remember, live smarter, live simpler, live with more money. Saxoki your life. Thanks for watching.